Hello, and welcome to what I am pretty sure this time is episode 144. Um, how are we all doing? Coping okay? I had a wobble yesterday on a Saturday. I don't know why, but it just suddenly hit me that it's been a week and a half since I've seen since I've seen all of my co-workers, but I miss some of them, and I guess it just hit me. So I had a bit of a wobble. Luckily, I went on social media, which mainly meant Twitter for me yesterday, um, and I saw a completely innocent tweet about the size of a kitchen, and I completely lost it. Crying, laughing. So it's random things. Anyway, working from home. The weather's been glorious, I must say. Cold, as in I was going to plant a couple of flower bulbs that I bought, but the bucket that I wanted to plant them in, yes, I'm fancy like that. It's a black bucket. Because it's what I have, and I don't want to go to the big flower markets and join the rest of Denmark, who apparently are over there or in the park or wherever, prompting the police to send text messages to all registered numbers in Denmark, mobile phone numbers, telling us to keep our distance and take our precautions and not gather out in the sunshine or in warehouses, I suspect. So yeah, I figured it's a black bucket, it's standing there already. It's not pretty, no, but I mean, it's the flowers that's supposed to be pretty. So I went out there this morning, not even morning, it was past 11 I think, or 10, and there was ice, like a big solid disc of ice on top of the bucket, because it's been filling up with water, and I've kept it like that because then the birds can take a bath and drink and whatever. So yeah, I think I'll hold off for a bit before I decide to plant my bulbs. Just, as a precaution. Crafting wise, you'd think I'd do a lot of crafting since I am at home a lot, but I did go for some rather long walks, because nothing says I can't get out of the house like walking 3 kilometers to pick up something that I'll show you. It's right down here. Anyway, I have been crafting. As you can see, one of the results I am wearing, it's the penguin dress. I call it the penguin dress. It is in fact the So Over It 1940s wrap dress. It's a really nice pattern. It more or less guides you without holding your hand all the way through, but it gives you all the details you need, and drawings and everything. So a nice pattern, and it's so super comfy to wear. I already wore it the other day going out of the house because and it feels strange to wear proper clothes. because I don't think I'll be telling on anyone if I say that most of us working from home at the moment are in what could... oh. Okay, maybe one of the buttons is a bit too tight. It just popped. Luckily it's the lower button, so no harm done. And now you can see my bra because it is not really meant for sitting around moving a whole lot and making your thingamajig button pop. So, but it happens. That's why I have two buttons. I'll show you what I mean. So, it is a crossover. As you can see, it crosses right on the breastbone, more or less. We have two buttons here that are just poppers. So, yes, they can pop. There is also one on the inside, which I'm not going to show you because, well, you've already seen a flash of my bra. You don't need to see all of it. But yeah, you have the waistband going all the way around. The waistband is two parts. So you have the outer part, which you can see here. And there is, just going to pop this again. It's a lined inner part, which you sew down by hand. It is sewn on by sandwiching the bodice, and then you sew it down by hand to connect to the skirt. And it was windy when I was wearing this, so, oh, and I should mention that it has pockets, which is not part of the original pattern. The original pattern doesn't have pockets, and it is a crime. I mean, it was so easy to put in side seam pockets, because you have a back piece that is cut on the fold, and you have two front pieces which overlap, and they overlap so far that even with the windy weather, it flew open, but my modesty was still protected because the underskirt part goes, well, the skirt front that goes under goes so far over that you could wear it open and still be covered, looking from the front at least. So, finished this and cut out all the pieces for a second one, put together the bodice. I still need to do the binding, which is, I made it myself. I cut my pieces too long, so there is that. But I haven't put them on, mostly because I have to, well, I don't have to. The pattern tells you to sew them down by hand. I really don't like sewing by hand. And it does go all the way around the binding, so it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, I've started construction of my second one. You have two darts in the back. You have pleats at the shoulders. You can see them more obviously here. They are also in this one, but they're not as obvious because the penguins hide them. And you got gatherings down on the front pieces as well. You might have noticed that, no you haven't, but there is gathering here as well on the front skirt, and the back skirt, you probably can't tell, but it mimics the gatherings that you have, or not the gatherings, it mimics the darts that you have on the bodies. Words. I bet it's not talking to people. Anyway, started construction on that. Still doing French themes, so still sticking to that. And that's all there is to tell you, really. Yes. I'm just checking. So, that's all the sewing. In knitting news, I also have a finished garment. It's tiny, but it is done. Baby knitting number 2, done, dusted. Baby is due in May and will be a little boy. This is the 6 to 9 month size of Willem Seelboxer. It is knit out of one strand of Filiculana Avetta Classic. I can never tell if they are classic or merino extra fine. I think it's more or less the same. Maybe they changed names somewhere along the way. I'm not entirely sure, but you know. Avetta, the classic one. This took all of 73 grams. It hasn't been washed yet. I just sewed on the buttons today. And hopefully the recipient will enjoy it whenever they get it. Baby hasn't been born yet. Baby isn't due until May. So, my only other knitting. Can you tell this will be short? My only other knitting didn't get as far as I wanted. I would have liked to have, I don't know. I think I said yesterday. Last time. I think I said last time that I wanted to finish the yoke on my Woolen Honey. Woolen Honey is by Andrea Renee knits. And for those of you who are following along, I'm re-knitting it. This is the second time doing the body. I did all of the body and found out it was way too big. So, what has happened now? Well, what has happened is that I have added a new skein of yarn. My plan is to finish the yoke and then I will start alternating with skeins of yarn. The reason I'm not doing it in the yoke is that, well, all of those essentially pieces of string going across in a honeycomb pattern and having 2 skeins to juggle just doesn't seem like a good idea. I will say that you can see my progress from last week, well, from Monday, the last episode, and it is garter stitch on 3.5mm needles. Let's just check. 3.5mm needles, and it's scrunched up on the needles. That's why it looks really tiny and doesn't look like it'll fit, but it should. I am down to the part where I've just crossed the second to last time. So you can see I now have 2 honeycomb parts and a non-honeycomb part. Don't know how obvious it is. The yarn is really scrumptious to knit with, so even though it is a task to knit this again, the yarn is at least nice. It is the Merino single from Scandinavian, and it's in the rusty colorway. And she has a new colorway. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. Which it's really speaking to me, but I'm trying to ignore it. Even though she's offering free delivery at the moment, until the end of the month. Which means another week and a couple of days. But yeah, I'm down to 2, so the next part will be only a single hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagon. And then you're done, and you get to split for the body and the arms. So I need another, I think it's 18 rows to get there. It will be much nicer once it gets down to just garter stitch, because right now I have to focus on when I need to do a crossover and when I need to wrap stitches and so on. But yeah, I don't think I'll finish this in time to actually wear it until the autumn, but you know, we're always supposed to knit for the season ahead, right? Yeah, I'm no good at that. Just imagine what could have been if I had trusted my instincts and didn't just say, it'll work out fine. It is fine. Escaping yarn. So, I told you I went on a walk, 3 kilometers, 3.1 actually, which is the distance from here to Yarnfrig, which, as you can tell from the name, is a yarn store. And the reason I walked in was mainly that it was sunny and I just was itching to get out. And also limiting using public transport and spreading disease and whatever. We are all social distancing. But anyway, I went for a walk, 3.1 kilometers in, because I had seen on the Yarnfrig Instagram stories that they had a Sorry. I might take a nap after this. I'm getting really good at taking naps in the afternoon. Maybe that's what all of this is going to teach us. The value of the nap. Anyway, I saw that they had Rauma Finul, which wasn't what really got me excited. What got me excited is that they also had one of the pattern books from Rauma. Now, I absolutely adore the Rauma Christmas pattern booklet. Can't get it anywhere. Well, you can in Norway, but not from a web shop. And then I, of course, started following Rauma and fell in love with another pattern book. This one, the Rauma 246R. And what I mainly fell in love with was, let me just, this pattern, the green one. And you can't purchase these booklets without buying yarn. So I figured I have been in love with it, I am in love with it. The yarn isn't too expensive. I'll just buy it for the jumper. So that's what I did. Haven't cast it on yet, but I will, because now I'm down to just one project. So my main color is this green, which is a darker green than the one they used in the booklet, but I think it'll be really pretty with the soft pink. And okay, let me level with you. This is going to be knit on 3mm needles. I know. And it's going to start out with the rib in a 2mm needle. So this is knit from the bottom up, and then you split and you knit each, the front and the back, separately. Yeah. Color work back and forth. And then you knit the sleeves, and then you sew them on. I am not about to do that. I see no reason to do that. Especially when you look over here, where you get the cardigan version. I mean, it's the exact same thing, only in a cardigan, with raglan decreases. So yeah, that is how I intend to make my jumper, using this pattern, combining it with this pattern for the length and the sleeves. Because why knit back and forth? This is steeped, by the way, because it is a Norwegian pattern, so of course it's steeped. It makes no sense that this isn't steeped. I will refer you to one of the other patterns that I think I might make, which is apparently only pictured as a dress. Oh. I know it's in here, it's on the first page. See? Raglan decreases. I'm pretty sure I need to make this as well, but in different colors. Yeah, it's a really nice booklet. There are things I would never knit, because it's just not my aesthetics. I'm not going to knit a skirt or a dress. I just think it'll end up sagging like crazy. And the oversized jumper in, I don't even know, it's just called wide jumper because it is wide and it's knit from a thicker yarn. The yoked jumpers are really cute, but I'm a bit out yoked at the moment. And okay, so I'm suspecting from looking at the sleeves that this has the same deal with the knitting back and forth and sewing in the sleeves. Why? When you have the exact same options to just do a raglan. Why? You're Norwegian, for God's sake. The same thing with the dress here. Also, no raglaning, decreases sewn on. Well, the sleeves are sewn on, and the skirt is really cute, but I'm not going to end up wearing it anyway. And you get an overview, and of course you get hats out of, well, not all the patterns, but some of the patterns. So yeah, but it is knit on 3mm needles. It'll be worth it. It'll so be worth it. Maybe after my nap I'll cast on and just do the numbers of the jumper and the length of the, they call it jacket, but cardigan, when it gets to the body part. So yeah. Again, not appropriate for summer, but this won't be done until after the summer anyway, so who cares? If you're wondering, Scandinavian sizing. So, while I don't have to modify anything here, it does go up to a size XXL, which they define as the jumper having a circumference at the chest of 120 centimeters, which is more than what I need, but it would be my size. The XL is 111 centimeters, and I couldn't breathe in that. Not with color work. The XXL is the biggest size in all of them, and they are around 118 to 120 centimeters finished. And the skirt has the biggest size being 88 centimeters at the waist. That's yeah, it's not very inclusive. It is inclusive enough for me, and I know that's horrible to say, because that's not what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be inclusive for all different kinds of sizes. It is not. So, just be aware, if you want to knit something from this, the larger sizes are 118 or 120 centimeters around. Scandinavian sizing, yay. Okay. I think that'll be it for today. I'm going to take a nap, and then I am going to probably cast on the rib and then ignore it, because that's just 312 stitches. 2x2 rib for 5 centimeters. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. My dad might be coming tomorrow to bring me the spare computer screen he has, because I complained about only having one screen to work on here, and how I have to get used to that because I'm used to having 2 screens at work. I know some people brought home both screens when they brought their computer back home. There's no way in hell I could bring home all of my equipment on the train. That wasn't going to happen. So I've been coping for a week and a half with just, well, 7 days with just the one screen. But when I complained to him, he said, well, I have a spare screen. He'd be happy to run it up to me if, in exchange, I got him the candied ginger candy that I introduced him to before Christmas, and which he has already eaten all 4 jars of it, which means he's eaten 1 kilogram of it since Christmas. Yeah. So I have bought him the candy. I may have bought everything they had, which was, well, no. I did leave one jar because it didn't, I wanted an even number. I don't know why. And they gave me the last one when I explained that it was for my dad and that he fallen in love with them and needed to stock up on them. So, yeah. My little local, or one of the small local Asian shops, is still open, and he says he'll stay open until the government shuts him down. Or he can't get any more stock, whatever comes first. At the moment he can't get stock, but it might take longer because there are no flights in and out. Well, there are flights in and out of Denmark, but not as frequent, and so they have to get it on boats. Which I think he probably does anyway, but you know, if all mail is going on and cargo is going on boats, there aren't enough boats that'll transport everything to the exact date that we probably expect it to. It's fine, it's no big deal, he's taking his precautions. Yeah, he's still open. So, but he doesn't have any candied ginger anymore, so no reason for you to go and try and get some. They are delicious. I'm sacrificing myself for my dad because I'm running really low as well, but I'm giving it all to him. I think he appreciates it more. So now I have to call him and tell him that I actually have the candy if he wants to come by tomorrow or Tuesday and make an exchange. Sorry. Don't swallow and breathe at the same time. Can't be advised. Anyway. I hope you have a great week, despite everything. I know it's weird for all of us, but you might have to get used to this. Just saying. Napping and casting on. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye.